Good morning. It is 10:32 a.m. on Saturday, April 3rd, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I did not just get up. This is 5 more minutes. Yeah, I slept in some this morning. I definitely needed it, but also I was just feeling like I need a shower. I need to put on some clean clothes. And so I've kind of actually been up and around a little bit. You know, I did my dishes. I was just feeling like a couple of things that I had let go. Like, it's not, I've been home all week, so it's not like any of these things were severe personal failings, but I'd been letting them pile up a little bit, and I just sort of felt this morning, I woke up just feeling like I needed to take care of some of those things before I could face the rest of the world. Um, Although that's kind of an interesting thing to say because I kind of am describing doing this video as facing the rest of the world, except that what I'm literally doing right at this moment, even though I know I'm talking in a video that's going to post online and other people will see it and maybe comment on it or have feelings about it, but what I'm literally doing right now is looking at a little camera below which is a preview window of my own face. And so in a very real way, am I facing the rest of the world, or am I actually navel gazing and talking to myself? The answer, of course, is both. Um, it got really cold yesterday, just kind of out of nowhere. We had been having like, upper 50s and even mid 60s for several days in a row, and then all of a sudden I wake up and it's below freezing again. I literally had so this was actually, not last night, but the night before, but I literally woke up at like 2 a.m. because I had left my window cracked. And I'm all bundled up in my blankets, but I woke up because Rocket had climbed over and basically just like pressed up against me and placed his chin on my face. Probably because he was cold, because he was right there by the open window. And I don't blame him. But yeah, I just woke up going like, oh my God, what happened? It's so cold. And so yeah, it was just we're still that time of year, I mean, we're officially in spring and all that now, but it still gets cold sometimes. It looks to be like it'll be a little warmer today. Um, I've got some stuff I'm doing. Um, I watched. So I actually had started it a couple of nights ago, but got interrupted for various reasons. But I finally watched Godzilla vs. Kong last night, and it's not my favorite of that new series. I guess, let me think, which one would be? I honestly think that probably of this current franchise, Kong Skull Island is probably the best movie. Um, yeah. I rewatched all of them except the Godzilla standalone. Um, but that includes, Kong Skull Island and Godzilla King of the Monsters, and now Godzilla versus Kong. Um, yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings. On the one hand, I kind of like them as just kind of silly explosion, giant monster fun, but without necessarily being overly thrilled. Like, I'm entertained but not moved. Does that make sense? Um, and this new one I think is largely the same. I kind of joked on Twitter about it that, it's like, excuse me, one movie with goofy shit, please. And they say, yes, would you like us to pretend the goofy shit is extremely serious and realistic? And I'm over like, not really? That's not actually so. And I mean, that's kind of the joke, right? Because it's weird when they work so hard to try to justify all the extremely silly things that happen in this movie, it almost actually highlights how silly they are instead of us just being along for the ride. Um, yeah, like when part of your movie presupposes that the earth is actually hollow and that there's all sorts of other giant monsters that live down inside, okay. But I don't really need a scene where you try to explain the physics of that to me. Because, no. But if it's just a fun movie, then it's fine. And you don't actually need to explain it very much. Not as much as you'd think. And that's why I was also telling someone else, like someone else was saying, like, well, I haven't watched any of the others, so I felt like I couldn't watch this one. And I'm like, it's not as necessary or as helpful as you would think, because yeah, there's some there's some plot threads that come through, but frankly, I mean, you don't really need it, honestly. Mostly the things that kind of cross over are you have some characters who were in previous movies but explain who they are and what their feelings are immediately upon first meeting them in this new movie. So, like, you don't really need to have seen the other movies. Um, you know, Kong was on Skull Island before, and he is now too, but there's this big company called Monarch that does a lot of stuff related to giant monsters. That's kind of all you really need to know, but the movie explains that stuff, so, anyway, I think I will leave it there, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.